thought I'd been around all of it, and I was just walking around in circles. I totally missed this hall completely. I think this is the final hall to go through. Let's see if there's anything interesting around here. I don't know when the last time I saw one of those was. That's a very cool car. It's got a VXR engine in it though. And then next to that we have a Corsa or an Opel Nova, depending where you were from. But that's pretty nice. And the seats are of VXR too. Those are the Corsa seats too. So you got the VXR engine in there. It's very nice. And then we've got a Skyline, R34 Skyline. That just looks stunning. RP26 engine in it. Let's see what else we have in here. So I can see we've got a Honda stand over there. We've got some minis behind us. Looks like we might have classic American cars. There's an Imp there. We can go look at that in a second. I see Singer Chamois, maybe. Oh, the whole Imp club is here. Look at this. We've got a, what do they call this? They call a Hillman Husky van. This is the Imp van. And then next to that we got a Singer Chamois. This is like the posh version of a Hillman Imp. Basically, like it had a nicer grille on it, and I think you had a lock on the bonnet on these, or the frunk, because it's the front trunk rear engine on this. And then you've got a Sunbeam Imp Sport. I used to have one of these. So this is the sporty version of the Imp. It has quad headlamps on it. It also has a slightly tuned engine on it. So this has got the L4 engine, I think, 875 with like a oil cooler on it. Yeah, there we go. So there's your 875 L4 with an oil cooler. This is running twin Strombergs. That's really nice. And then there was a coupe version of that called the Sunbeam Stiletto, which I don't think, no, they do. They have something. This is either a Sunbeam Stiletto or an Imp Californian. This is a Hillman Imp Californian. So the coupe version of the Imp. It's a really good looking car. Like they did a good job with the Imps, making them a few different versions of it. But that's the like the regular Imp, but with the California coupe body, roof style line, sorry. And then they did a Sunbeam Imp version of that, so with the quad headlamps off the red car, with that coupe roof, and with the sportier engine. But this has already been, this has got the sports lid on it, so that vented lid is off the sport version of the Imps. This allows for better cooling. The standard Imp doesn't have that, you can see. One doesn't have the vents, it just has the main vents but not the additional vents. And you can see that the Sunbeam version has got the extra vents. Very cool little car, those. One thing that everyone says about these is the head gaskets always go on them, and they don't really, as long as you look after them and make sure the cooling system's up to scratch. But if their head gasket does go, it tends to warp the engine and the head because it's all aluminium. All right, let's see what else we've got around here. So these came out around the same time as the Escort Cosworth, and in some tests they were like put head to head against each other, which is a bit unfair. The Calibra kind of fell off for a little bit, but they seem to be becoming more and more popular. Now, as someone who isn't much of a Vauxhall fan, the Calibra is something that I would consider owning. I do like that. So of all the Vauxhalls I would have, I would definitely consider a Calibra. I would definitely consider a Mariva as well, the VRX one. But this one's had a lot of work on it. Full leather interior on that. We've got updated bucket seats. It smells really good in there. Wow, it's a really nice air freshener. And you got a really good sized trunk on them. Those are nice. And there's a few other ones. So that's obviously been highly done up. Had a lot of money spent on it. It's got upgraded brakes, upgraded engine and everything on it. And this is more of what you expect from a Calibra, with the Ecotec twin cam engine in it. And this red one here looks pretty much standard. So let's see if we can get around there. Yeah, that's pretty much how you would expect to find a Calibra these days. Maybe with different wheels. It's a good-looking Capri, to be good-looking coupe, to be fair. So these are like they look like a miniature version of a Corvette, but it's a Opel. You don't really see them on the roads in the UK that often. You see them a lot more in Europe. And this one's actually had an engine upgrade. It's got a modern red top engine in it. Very pretty car, to be fair. But we've got some quite a few Opels in here. We've got we've got some Matra Miuras. I do apologise for pronouncing these names wrong. The Matra it's basically part of Talbot Renault, I think. They don't exist anymore. I think the last thing they made was the Renault Espace. But they're actually a really cool coupe. And what's interesting with these is they're actually 3-seat. So they got 3 front seats in them, whereas like a McLaren F1 has a central driving position. These have got like a driver's side and then 2 passenger seats on the side of it. So the driver is off to one side still. I'll show you that in a second. This is a earlier version of the car. Really cool French coupe. And there's some other Simca models of it over here too. So this is all part of the Talbot group. So Talbot, Roots, Hillman, all of that, they all got rolled into one. But yeah, let me show you that 3-seated position that you've got. You might be able to just see it through this window. Yeah. So you can see that we've got the driver's seat, and then you've got 2 passenger seats. So it's a 3-seater. It's a shame they didn't put it in the middle, because it would have been ideal from like going from country to country, going from the UK to Europe and vice versa. And it also probably would have been better for like weight distribution, but it's still a really cool car. And over here we have the Simca version of it, which I think again is a little bit more modern. And that's the Murina. Marina? It's a really attractive car. My actual plan years and years ago was to buy one of these from Germany and bring it back to the UK, and I obviously never did it. Yeah, a rare sight on UK roads. Very interesting car. See what else we've got in here. We've got some sunbeams. So these are interesting. So this is again, it's another Chrysler Hillman Sunbeam product, and there's a few different versions. There's the Sunbeam Alpine, which isn't here, and then these are the Alpines, I think. Yeah, these are the Alpines. So these are the Sunbeam Alpines. This is what the car started life as, and a really attractive looking soft top, and then this like sports back car. I'm not sure what you call it, a coupe. With got a bit of an Aston Martin feel to it, and believe it, I think they actually used a Sunbeam in one of the early Bond movies with Sean Connery in it. So that's the Alpine. That just uses I think it's a 1725 engine. I think something along those lines. Sorry. And then we've got the American version, well, the Tiger, which is basically a Shelby product, and they put a V8 engine in these. So it's the same body, pretty European chassis body, but with a American V8 in, and that became a real beast. There we go, we got one with the bonnet open here. So this is kind of, I think this is, I don't know if it's before or after the AC Cobra, but it's the same sort of thing. Beautiful European body with a powerful V8 engine in, and obviously it's got a more aggressive stance as well. And obviously you can see that people have really done a lot to these cars. You can tune them up. This one's properly stripped out, ready for racing. or you've got like that classic retro racer look. Really, really good cars, those. I really like those. A friend of mine actually has one, and he's making his own version of a Tiger. I think it's going to use a Rover V8, I'm not sure. But yeah, pretty car, those. And carrying on down here, we've got the Singer Club. So this is all the Roots Group cars. These are interesting cars. So we've got the Minx, or whatever the Gazelle. I believe that's like a Hillman Minx, but a posh version of it. And then we've got the Singer Chamois. So that's just a posh version of the Hillman Imp. But again, this one's been given the sports boot lid. And I assume, yeah, it's got a 998 engine in that one, so that one will be really rapid. It's got an upgraded oil cooler on it too. That'll be a really, really fast, pokey little car, that. So they're an overhead cam, all aluminium engine, and they can rev to like 9,000 RPM easily. Yep. Cool car, that. Right, let's see what else we have in here. We've got some motorbikes in here too. We've got some Sinclair C5's. Don't know if you guys know what a Sinclair C5 is, but it's basically the future, except it came too early. It came in the 80s. Here it is. That is a Sinclair C5. It's a little electric EV. It has pedals on it, so you can pedal it. I'm not sure if it's like, I don't know much about them. I don't know if it's like an assisted car, like an assisted thing, like an electric bike is these days. So I guess you pedal it and it gives you a bit of a push. But I remember, like, there you go, that's the chassis, that's mad. It looks so futuristic from the top, and underneath it's really, really basic. Like, there's no way that brake would stop you. And look at it, it's all plastic. You could probably 3D print that now. But that was the future back in the 80s, and I think our Paperboy used to have one. Oh, actually, speaking of 3D printing, it looks like they are 3D printing parts for them. So that's the Birmingham NEC Classic Car Show done, 2023. It was pretty good, and we got to see some really cool cars. It was crazy busy though, so I'm not sure how usable a lot of my footage is, so I'll do my best to piece something together. We got to see Auto Alex smash up his Skoda Fabia VRS with W. Lemkin, and we got an interview with Taylor. So that's really, really cool. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, see you soon. Bye-bye.